Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to watch a speed build of the theater. Opera House is what I named it actually. So this building is in like the higher part of Willow Creek, where I decided to make it kind of like a little bit of a cultural hub with like a few living areas. There's like gonna be, I already built them, but yeah, there are 2 townhouses, and yeah, that's about it actually. There's only like a townhouse, like a lot that it has like 2 apartments that are townhouses, and the rest are just like community lots. So this is one of the first that I recorded. Actually, the one I recorded first was the public baths, I think. I hope so, because I had a lot of issues with The Sims before I actually started the save file, which of course, right, whenever I actually want to do the save file, stuff like that would happen, right? Where it kept crashing and I couldn't load back into lots. It was a mess. So when I finally got it back to working, I was too afraid to like start doing recordings because I was afraid it was going to, like, I don't know, fuck it up somehow. So I just didn't do it, and I was just like seeing if my computer could go back to normal and handle it. Fortunately it did, so I'm glad for that. And I only started recording on like this neighborhood, but I actually don't remember if I actually recorded the public baths. I think I did. I hope I did. But yeah, this is just the first one that I am editing. And oh my god, building it with the other one with the public baths like next to it, you'll see like the camera goes kind of wild every time that I turn it like a specific way, and it's so annoying to build with that. It's actually kind of crazy, but it was just something that I had to deal with. A little bit annoying, but overall fine. But it does feel very, very satisfying. Like here you can't really see it because the other lots are just not done yet, but it's really satisfying to see the entire neighborhood with like all of the buildings that I actually built, and it starts feeling like way more like the vibe of the save file that I want to give, which is like, it's kind of like a historical fantasy, and I put fantasy in there because I want to still like have occults and like magical stuff. I don't want it to just be like very serious and trying to be super accurate, but I still want to give it that vibe of like historical. So mainly I am staying within the Regency, Victorian eras kind of, but I'm not being like super historically strict of being like, okay, this has to be from this specific period or whatnot. I have some like Art Deco inspirations even, so it kind of like bounces around. Also because a lot of the items that we have, well, they are the items that we have, right? It's very limited, and I'm not really playing with mods or CC. In case you haven't watched my first video, there's an intro to like the first neighborhood that I did that I couldn't record the speed builds for it, so I just went over each of the lots that I built. I'm also going to do that for this neighborhood. But basically I talked a little bit about how I tried for the longest time to like have a mod folder that like has all the historical mods and that I feel like good about having, but it just annoys me to have to like constantly update the mods. It's just like not the type of gameplay that I want to have, because if I just want to hop in and then I have to like go through every single mod that I need an update in CC, it's like I can't deal with it. I can't keep up with it. I don't know how people do it. But anyway, maybe I should talk about the build. I still have not played with the new pack. I always forget the name. Regency and Legacy? What is it called? Royalty and Legacy, that's it. I haven't really played with the gameplay yet. I've just been mainly building. But I really like a few of the items. Like, I would have liked a few more windows. I feel like there's not enough choice for like big windows in all the builds that I've been doing. I felt a lack of like just massive windows. Like, I don't know, when I think about like royalty and stuff, a lot of the times I think of kind of the stained glass that is like very opulent, very big, very like, I don't know. So I'm kind of missing that. But I like those little statues that I put in the entrance of the build. I wish we had more though, because yeah, we have the peacock, but I also would like to have more of just the statues, because to create more variety in the public baths build that I made, I used a bunch of them like over the second terrace, I guess. When I released that, you can go watch it, I guess. But I felt kind of a lack for that, because it's just repeating the same two over and over again, and it's like, yeah, it's manageable, but it would look cooler if we had more choices. But it's The Sims, so what can we expect? Here I kind of went crazy. So I also mentioned it in my intro, I'm not really a builder. Like, this is the first time that I'm actually like genuinely, okay, I'm going to build everything from the ground up, because that's kind of what I decided would be best for this save file, because my objective with this is to create the save file of like my dreams, like what I want to actually play, like kind of a forever save that I like am really passionate about. So I thought, okay, but then I want like every single building to be exactly as I want it. I don't want to just like go find like lots in the gallery which are awesome, and builders are like, we're very, very talented. But there's always something that I'm like, oh, I wish this wasn't like this, or this wasn't like that. So I'm like, okay, let's just start it like and do everything myself. So as you can see, I struggled a lot to figure the platforms, because like the thing with The Sims, like I've been playing for a long time and I know the features exist, but I probably never even used them. So a lot of them I'm still very like finicky with, like I don't really know how to use them, so I'm still trying to figure that out. I also struggled a bit with this lot on the second floor. We'll get there. Where I was struggling a little bit, I meant to have like the richer seats upstairs, like how there usually are like what do you call cabinets? No, the places where like the richer folk would like would see the theater from above. You know, it's like a little cubby for them specifically, and it's individual, like, or for a few seats, right, for their guests or people that would go with them. So that was my intention, but there was not enough space, so I just ended up making it a little bit of a mess. I mean, it kind of worked out, but I feel like I'm not fully satisfied with how it came out, but it's like, okay, good enough. So I just didn't want to deal with all of that. But I'm satisfied with this build. Here I'm still like messing around with the stairs. I end up moving them because they're just like occupying way too much space. Later I figure out like the whole scheme of it, and I actually really like how this room of the like main theater came out. I think the overall build, like in general, I think I'm pretty proud of myself as a non-builder to be able to like do all these things. Of course, I would not be able to do it without Pinterest. Honestly, Pinterest has been such like a massive helper, and I also like I have watched a lot of like save files from other people that post on YouTube, and you know, obviously some of them give like tips for what you should do, and I forget actually which one of them said and suggested using Pinterest for like a collection of kind of like the moods that you want and the builds that you want, and that has actually been very helpful because a lot of my inspiration actually comes from Pinterest and stuff that I collected off of Pinterest. But yeah, it has been very cool. I really like architecture, even though like I'm not a builder. I always really kind of wanted to, but it's kind of the amount of time that it takes that I always like push me away from it. So now that I'm like committing to this, I'm like, okay, it actually feels really, really fun. And I've been having fun because typically when I play, I'm much more of like a player, create a sim. I really want to just have the gameplay and be playing. Like building is fun and all, but I want to play the game. So this has been like the most amount of time where I've played the Sims when I'm not actually playing with the Sims. I'm building. So for me, that's pretty crazy. I was going over like a few things to include on the stage, like curtains and how to make it look more like a stage. I was going over the backdrops here from Get Famous, and I decided to put like these little markers for the actors. I don't know if those are going to work because I still have not play tested my builds. That's going to be fun. I'm probably going to make a video about it because I think that's going to be interesting to see where, like, because, you know, as a simmer, you kind of have an idea of things Sims are not going to be able to do and are going to be able to do. But I don't know. I think there's a lot here. Again, of course, I'm using move objects, obviously. So maybe there's a lot of stuff here that is like not going to be accessible or usable. And when I go over it, I hope the little spots work, the little X's. Yeah, here I realized that the stage was too small and finally realized that I can just conjoin those other two platforms, which makes more sense, and it even is how it's done in actual theaters. So yeah, and then when I put the chairs, I'm gonna realize, oh, I put the opening on the wrong side. So yeah, it's a lot of experimenting and figuring stuff out as I go, but overall I think I'm doing alright. I'm excited to actually start like creating the Sims as well, because I have a lot of ideas for people that I want to include in families and what are people going to be doing, and like I don't know, just a lot of inspiration for this type of stuff. It's very ambitious. I feel like the amount of work that I actually want to do. I want to, if this goes well, if I hopefully don't get bored of it, I want to move on to other like worlds to actually make more and kind of I don't know, attribute a different type of either era or style to those worlds, because all of the Sims worlds are like not very, very different, but recently, yes, very different. But definitely there are worlds that are more different than others, and I want to attribute specific styles to it. Like I had thought, actually, I think there was a save file from someone. I'm terrible with names. I'll probably find out who they are, and I'll probably put them in the description, because I feel a little bit bad at forgetting their names, and like I'm taking inspiration from them and I don't even remember. So I'll do some research to see if I can find them, and I'll put them in the description below. But there was this person that did a save file with all of the worlds like remodeled, and I think they did Oasis Springs. I think that's the name of the world. Man, I suck really badly. I've been playing The Sims for like ever since I was a kid, and I can't remember these things. So yeah, and they did it as like ancient Egypt, I think, and I really like that. I like that idea of like attributing different like historical places in the world to the different worlds in The Sims. So I kind of want to do that type of thing of like I don't know, a lot of worlds that are more inspired by the Eastern cultures to actually have like Eastern architecture, and the places that are more African to have more African architecture, and introduce more of like that culture to those worlds. And now with the new pack for Royalty and Legacy, it's really cool because you can have a regent in every single world. And I feel like the reason for me to create this save file and to actually do this right now was just because of the pack. Because for a long time I've tried to create a save file like this, but the only way I could actually do it was through mods. I think the one that I tried and I didn't end up you know, vibing with it, because it's the issue that I said in the beginning. I just do not have the patience for like updating mods and dealing with the mod folder and then just crashes and bugs and mistakes, and just I do not have the patience for it. But the one that I tested and I tried for a while was the royalty mod, I think it's called. And I really didn't play that much of it because, again, just didn't vibe with it, with the mods and everything. But I actually did a lot of work on a few like other files, other save files, but ended up not like leading to anything because then mods. But I forgot the point I was gonna make. What was I talking about? Damn. Well, in those save files previously, I had actually made a bunch of sims. That's actually the only thing that I actually created. Oh, I remember what I was talking about. Okay, so the whole point of this is I've tried before to create a save file, but the only way to create a save file that I wanted was through mods. And now with the new pack of Royalty and Legacy, I feel like I have like everything I need to actually create the save file that I want, which is something that includes like the royalty aspect of it, of having like nobility and kings and knights and like, you know, all this like historical but also can be fantasy stuff that I want to include and to like be part of my world. Because I don't know, I'm just like a lot of people, I feel I'm very obsessed with like the especially Regency era, and Victorian as well, but more Regency. So of course Jane Austen and stuff like that. I really like it. So I like that aesthetic, and I wanted to replicate it in The Sims and like have different interactions and like dramas between families, and like I don't know, I'm really excited to finish up like Willow Creek and then actually starting to create the Sims to actually start playing. I think I might recycle a few of the Sims that I've done before, from like my previous save files that I've tried to do like on my own. I might recycle some of those because I actually like those Sims and they might still like be relevant here. But I have a lot of ideas for like Sims that are going to be like either hate each other or have history or whatever. So that's gonna be fun. Yeah. I really like kind of the entrance that I made here. It's very opulent. I tried to put some furniture on the ground floor. I ended up like just leaving it empty because I felt like whatever I put there is going to be like a little bit like too much or out of place. So I just decided to leave it empty. It's just a foyer, so it doesn't really need that much more. And now we're gonna go upstairs and you're gonna see the mess that I make up here, because initially I had thought of putting bathrooms on those like 2 columns in the back, but I end up figuring out that hey, I do not have enough space even for like the like little cubbies for all of these nobles or whatever. So I'm not even going to be able to make like this a corridor to go to the bathroom. So no, I just stuff it all in this little corridor and that's it. I call it a day. But my idea was to create like this distinction as well between like the Commonwealth, or people, I mean, I wouldn't say Commonwealth because going to the opera has always been a very like high class thing to do. So if you did not have money, if you were Commonwealth, you did not have the money to have a ticket. So of course, like I don't think The Sims allows for this kind of like class distinction, right? And on one hand that's good, on the other hand like it kind of removes that I guess degree of reality that is kind of interesting, right, to play with. I remember there was a mod that I really liked. I think it's literally called the Regency mod. And I will put all of these in the description because it's always annoying when I see someone talking about something and then I don't know how to find it. So I'll put it down in the description, both the people that I mentioned and these mods as well. I don't know if they were updated though, so yeah. But this one was the Regency mod. And it was really cool because it also added like class dynamics. Like if you were poor, you were poor, and there were like lot types or lot traits that wouldn't allow poor people to go to. So like I played with that one for a good while because I really liked it. And you know, my poor Sims would sometimes have like moodlets that were like, oh, I'm poor but like I have all I need, so they get a happy moodlet. Or sometimes they're like, oh my god, I have to work so much and being poor sucks. So it was really cool. And the nobles would have it as well, so rich people would have it as well, where like when you're very, very rich and considered wealthy, you would be like, you know, either have a confident moodlet of being like, I'm so well off, I can literally do whatever I want to, or other Sims would have like a negative moodlet of being like, I cannot believe that there's wealth disparity and I have this much money and there are people like starving. So that was a really cool introduction. I liked that. And like they had lot traits where like only ladies would go to, only nobility would go to, only males would go to, and that created like, I get why the Sims would never introduce that, because it creates division, and you know, class strife is not really something that you want to introduce to the Sims because it's a serious issue. But it also creates like a lot of I don't know, a reality that it feels lacking when you're creating such like opulent buildings and livable spaces, and then you create like, I don't know, the village that's a little bit more you know, not with as many amenities, right? And they're just living in poverty, and then all of them just go to the theater, you know. So it kind of breaks the illusion a little bit, but also I don't know, it's just a small detail. Anyway, now we're upstairs, but surely you saw like kind of how, you know, messy the second floor got. But I think overall, hopefully the Sims will be able to walk there and it won't be too messy. But yeah, also it's a higher classes, so fuck them, who cares. Upstairs I was thinking of like creating a, because this lot type is a lounge, so there needs to be a bar, and I thought of creating like a secret entrance or a secret, and I know that the new pack introduced like a double lot where like during the daytime it's one thing and nighttime is another, but I didn't really want that for this one because it's supposed to just be like an opera house, and the only way that I could think of doing that is to have like a lounge. I hope it functions. I guess we'll see. When I actually start playing, I might also make alterations of like lot types and what they might be. Here I'm placing like tubs, because this girl, again, I'm remembering more people that I watched that I forget who they are. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find tub girl, but I'll try. She was doing a speed build, I think, and she was mentioning how she puts like showers and tubs in community lots because she hates it when Sims are like stinky and there's like nothing they can do about it. So every time since then, I have started placing like showers or tubs in my builds, in my community builds, because I think of that. I'm like, she's so right. Like it is annoying when you see people stinky with like stink lines and just walking around and they can't do anything about it. Or even my own Sims when they're staying in the lot for too long and they have to like wash their teeth like 3 billion times in order to get clean. So yeah, that's the little sidetracked into tubs. But going back, so my idea was to create like a secret venue. So I placed this little shelf that is also a door that comes with one of the kits to kind of create the door, because I was a little bit confused because again, I have not yet played with the royalty and legacy pack. So I know that clock that I put up there has like a gateway to somewhere, but at the time I didn't really know how it functioned, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna place it, but just in case I'm going to create a door. And then I was thinking, okay, wait, because I realized that the clock does not have like a back, like the shelf you see has like a door on the other side, a very visible door on the other side. So I was like, okay, this clock is not doing that, so there must be another mechanic. So I thought, okay, maybe it needs another clock to serve as a gateway, which I actually think is how the clock actually works. So I'm glad that I introduced the two options, because I actually don't know if the shelf door actually functions as a gameplay thing. If Sims will know that that's a door, they probably will. I don't think the Sims team thought that hard about it. I think Sims are just gonna know it's a door. But regardless, Or maybe not, or maybe I'm being too mean to the Sims team. Maybe they did introduce something. Regardless, I'm glad that there's 2 ways to enter the bar area that is supposed to be a secret. So my idea was like that the actors and the higher nobility or the higher like class people would know of this, and it's very exclusive. So it's like only specific people would know about it, and it's very like you know, not elite, but like exclusive. I don't know the word for that. It's pretty basic. I don't think I introduced them much up here. It has a bar, a dance floor, some music, and that's about it. Maybe I should have included something else, maybe some games. I might go back and introduce it, because with a lot of these builds, like, I'm trying to keep everything in mind and the way I play in mind. And when I actually go to play and live test these lots, I might think, oh, maybe I should put like a game card here to entertain the sim so that we can do something different. So I might do that. I actually don't know. I might put this. I probably will put these on my Sims gallery if anyone is interested in them. But yeah, I need to check that out, because I probably will only do that when I'm 100% sure that the lots are playable, and like don't have any issues. So I'll live test them first and check if I want to add anything before I put anything on the gallery. And I think it's now, yeah, I'm fixing up the rugs. Now I'm going to move on to the other little room that I have left, and I had like thought about what it could be, and my idea initially was to have like a changing room for the actors, because I have that like get famous like little podium that you can change into costume. I don't actually know how that works outside of like the get famous like studio like job thing. I don't know if it actually works as an individual item. I never tried it in a community lot, so hopefully that works, because I do like the idea of having people that like could change into costume or something. Not that we have like actual actors, but you know, it would be interesting. So yeah, here I am placing it. But yeah, I have already ideas of like creating who the actual actors would be, and they could come here to like, you know, busk and try to get money. And yeah, there it is. I put a little bed, a love heart bed, because during like these times, a lot of the times the opera and the theater, not so much the opera maybe, but I'm actually not sure. It was mostly ballet or dancer related, where nobility would like actually seek out like, you know, something else from the actors and the entertainers and the performers. Not exactly a good thing, right? Because a lot of times it was like not coercion, but it's like I pay you for it, right? So it was a little bit a lot exploitative. But yeah, so that was the idea, kind of a nod to that, of how like, you know, these wealthy people could just come in and, you know, but yeah, now I tried to do something with the roof and it doesn't work out, and that's about it. So that was my build. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to keep following my journey on the save file, please subscribe. And yeah, that's about it. Enjoy. Bye bye.